Okay, can everybody hear me? Sorry. Okay, I think the audio is working now. Man. Okay, good. Welcome to the daily video. Sorry about the audio issues from before. This is my first time doing this, so it's a little difficult for me, I guess. But now we got the audio working. Welcome to the last daily Moment of Sanity video. For those of you that are not aware, I started doing these as a challenge to myself to make a daily video every day during quarantine to bring a moment of sanity to people's lives and to also bring some entertainment to you guys while you're in quarantine. So hopefully I've done that. This is, I think, our 39th video. So that's a lot. I did decide to stop doing them every day because, the 2 weeks turned into a month, which turned into a month and a half. And now we don't know when it's going to end. So it takes a lot of time to do these. But without further ado, now that everybody can hear me, I'm going to go ahead and get into some questions. If you have a question while I'm talking, go ahead and feel free to drop it in the live chat over there. And then I will take a look at it and answer it when I have some time. So here we go. This first question is from Taylor. She asks, when and how did your love of the art start? I will say the first time I acted was in junior high school in a production of A Christmas Carol. I played one of the young Cratchit kids and I had to kind of beg my teacher to let me be in it. And I did a couple of things in junior high, but I didn't really do anything then. Then I moved to Pennsylvania when I was in my sophomore year of high school. And I'm a really shy person, so I didn't have a lot of friends in high school when we moved. So I decided to go out for the theater. They were doing a production of West Side Story, and so I auditioned for that, and I was cast. And from there, I made a lot of instant friends. They convinced me to join the drama club, and so that was great. And then ever since then, I've been doing acting on and off for many years. My writing actually started during an acting class when in Austin, when my coach's van had us write a scene for the class that we were going to perform the next week. It was a 10-line scene, so 2 people, 5 lines each. So I wrote that, and when we performed it the next week, my scene partner turned to me and asked me, she said, are you a professional writer? To which I took as a compliment, but I said, no, I'm not. But ever since then, I got really interested in writing, and so that's where my love of writing came from. Okay, next question. Sam asks me, tell me about your favorite actor and my favorite actress. So my favorite actor has got to be Denzel Washington. I'm a big fan of Denzel. Denzel has a skill that not a lot of actors have, whereas he can act without saying a word. And one of the best scenes that illustrates that is in Crimson Tide, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, where his friend has just betrayed him, and he just looks at his friend, doesn't say a word, but in that moment, you know exactly what he's thinking and what he's feeling. And it's a very powerful thing for an actor to be able to pull off, and Denzel does it with style. As for my favorite actress, I'm going to have to go with Helen Mirren on this one. I first learned about Helen Mirren from Prime Suspect. My brother introduced me to her in that show. It was a British actor, British murder mystery, and she's just fantastic in that. And she's great in everything that she does. She can also do comedy. I think it's funny how she got involved in the Fast and Furious because she just told Vin Diesel, "Hey, I want to be in this." And of course, you're going to let Helen Mirren be in your movie. I mean, and she's got comedic chops too. She's great in Red. So those are those are my two favorite actors. So Cliff asks me, how do you prepare for a role, and any tricks for memorizing lines? I'm gonna take a two-part answer in this, because I think the answers are kind of different. One is how do you prepare for a role during an audition? And generally, if you're doing an audition and you know the play that you're auditioning for, it's a good thing to always read the play. At least read the play so that you know that character's journey and the characters that you want to audition for. But sometimes we don't have time, or we can't afford it, or we can't find the play. So how do we prepare for it then? It's a very different question, because all you're given usually is just a side. So you kind of have to read. All you have is like a small set of lines, and you have to kind of determine what's going on in the scene during that time. A lot of times you can ask questions. You can ask the director. If you have questions, that's definitely something that you should do. But it's really about, for me, and everybody's process is different, is about listening and reacting. So reading between the lines, trying to determine why the character is saying what the character is saying. And it's really about, what do you want to get out of the other actor? What's the point of the scene? So if you're trying to get information, if you're interrogating somebody, it's a different motivation. And a lot of times the script will give you clues as to that. So it's really important to just kind of read through it, try and find the subtext. And if there's not one, pick something. Make a good, strong choice to show your acting. Because usually at an audition, at least at the first audition, they're just looking to see what you can do. The process for when you actually get a role, it's very similar, but it involves a lot more reading the script, knowing what the character's journey is. And then it's just like breaking down each scene and trying to figure out what you want out of the other people in the scene. And it's just listening to the other actor, to what they're saying, and reacting to it. And that's kind of how I prepare for a role. As for tricks to memorizing lines, this kind of also goes into the preparing for a role. When I'm memorizing lines, I usually look for clues in my cue lines. So if I have a line after another actor, I read those lines, listen to them, and try and find something that will bring me to what my line is about. And usually if you can connect that also goes back to the listening, because then you have to listen to what the other actor says, and that'll cue you into what you're going to say. So yeah, that's kind of how I prepare for that kind of stuff. Okay. That was a long-winded question. Hopefully that was answered. Next question is from Angel. He asks, what house in the Harry Potter universe do I belong to? I'm a Ravenclaw, through and through. I took the official Pottermore quiz, which put me in Ravenclaw. And when I went to the Warner Brothers studio tour, the official sorting hat told me that I was also in Ravenclaw. So officially, I'm a Ravenclaw. Okay. Next question. Tom asks, if given the chance, would you leave the planet? Absolutely. Many people may not know this about me, but I'm a huge science fiction nerd. If you know me, you know that. One of the things I used to read when I was a kid was the official Space Shuttle Operator's Manual. I read that cover to cover. And many of you may not remember this movie, but I was obsessed with a movie called Space Camp, which is about going to space camp and kids somehow get in a shuttle and they get launched into space. For me, that was kind of a dream of mine. I wasn't able to do it. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid, but I wasn't able to because of my eyesight. They didn't have things that could fix your eyesight back then. They do now. But yeah, if I could go into space, I would jump at the opportunity. Okay, this one's from Greg. He asks, where do you find the inspiration for your ideas when you write? in general, when I'm writing, you can get inspiration from anywhere. I could be at a coffee shop and overhear a conversation, and that could be the inspiration for to write. Or you just read something in the news and you're like, man, this is crazy. What would that be, right? And just start writing about that. And some of them are just goofy ideas that just kind of come to me for some reason. That's kind of hard to say, but they can come from anywhere and at any time. It's a good thing that we have cell phones these days, because you can just, wherever you are, if you come up with an idea for something that you want to write, or even a song or anything, you just pick it up, record that idea, and take it home, and you can use it for later. So it's a good thing these are here. Sometimes some writers carry around notebooks where they jot things down. So that's another way to do it. Okay, let's get another question here. Angel again asks, how many times have I been in drag? The very interesting question. I've been in drag at least twice, both for different shows. One was for a melodrama where I was playing a master of disguise, so I had to dress in drag, and the other was in a production of Leading Ladies, where I was one of the leads, and in that show they go back and forth between male and female, so you have to dress in drag. It's an interesting question because I have told some people that if you're a successful actor, there are three things that you will do. One is wear a dress, or if you're a girl, you'll wear dress as a guy. Kiss a girl, and you'll also kiss a guy, and that applies, I think, to everybody. Okay, let's see. Let's pull something else out here. Taylor asks, what is something you've learned about yourself during this film a day challenge you have given yourself? Man, that's a good question. I learned about myself. That's a tough one. I don't really like watching myself on film. I've done a couple of short films, but it's not something that I really like doing. One of the things that I have learned about myself is I was really hesitant to actually start doing these, because just doing something stupid and putting it out on YouTube, if anybody would actually enjoy it. And I actually saw somebody else do a video and post it on Facebook. And I thought, well, if he can do it, so can I. And so that's kind of how I started doing it. Yeah. Taylor also asked, what are some of the most difficult things that have come up during this, that I've learned from, which is a lot. I didn't really know how to edit when I first started doing these. I had some really limited editing knowledge. So when I first started doing these, I was using Microsoft Editor, and then learning how to really layer audio and video together, and where to cut and how to set things up. One of the most difficult things, since I'm filming everything by myself, is to actually set up the shots, because usually I have a director of photography that's helping me do that. And so now all I can do really is just set up a camera, flip the screen so that I can kind of see what's going on. But it's really difficult to try and maintain the focus and set up dynamic shots like that. So it's been really really challenging. I think the most challenging thing I did during this was trying to set up the dual video during the special baking unit video that I did, where it was a split screen. That was really difficult for me to do. Sam asks, what's the best experience you've had overall doing a show? That's a good question. I've done a lot of shows. I think probably the best experience I have had would probably have to be when I did Guys and Dolls. I played Nathan Detroit, and that's mostly because I don't really do musicals a lot, and to be able to carry a show and to sing an entire song and to do all of that was a huge challenge for me. And I love challenging myself. So that for me, that was a great experience. Okay, let's see. Get another question here. Do I have a fans? Angel asked, "Do I have a fans only page?" I do not have a fans only page. I don't think I have enough fans to have a fans only page. I think those are usually for people that have like a whole lot of fans, and it also means that I have to maintain 2 pages, which I'm not really fond of. I do have Rick Reichman Productions, which is my Facebook page for my production business, which is where I put a bunch of links to videos and stuff on there. So that's kind of a fan page. Yeah. Sam asked, "What's the worst experience I've had without revealing the show?" Man, without revealing the show, one of the worst I had was there was a show that I did that wasn't near where I lived, and it was a long time ago. And 2 people in the show ended up dropping out of the show during the run of the show. So I went out on Saturday. There was a huge fight between 2 of the actors. And I mean, it happens on shows sometimes. Actors get into fights, and then usually they just, make up, and the next day they're back to normal business. But the next day, I came in Sunday, and there were 2 new people on stage reading from the script, and I had no idea this was happening until I walked in. So that was a pretty weird experience. And ironically, though, the 2 people that replaced the other 2 actors, they were much better than the actors that we had before. So that was kind of a good thing. Okay. Tom asks, "What are you doing right now in an alternate universe?" I don't know. I imagine probably working. Maybe an alternate universe, COVID-19 didn't happen, and I'm, just at work and getting ready to do The Producers, which is what I was in before that happened. Let's see if I got anything else here. Angel asks, "What favorite scene to reenact?" I don't really reenact scenes unless I'm in a show. I do have one that I would love to do, which is the monologue from The Network, the one the guy gives, which is "I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore," which is one of the best monologues ever written, and I would love to do that. And one day maybe I will. Have I seen an OnlyFans page? Yes, I have some friends that actually have fans pages. And the general advice I've heard is unless you have like a large number of fans, it's not really worth it. You can just use your main Facebook page for it. But yeah, I've seen them, but I don't generally think that I need one right now. Let me see if there's anything else that I can answer here. Tom asked me what my favorite line I've ever said in a film project or a play, and I don't really have a favorite line. I mean, yeah, I don't. There's a lot of different lines. I don't know if I can remember those. So. Maybe. Okay. Let me just one more question here. We'll go with we'll go with Taylor asked a question: when this quarantine is over and it's safe to everything to go back to normal again, what is the first thing you want to do to celebrate? Man, I really want to go to Disneyland. Big Disneyland fan. I missed it on my birthday. I'd love to go back there. I don't know if that's a good idea to do that. What I really probably want to do is audition for a show and get into another play and do something acting wise. Or get together with my friends and do an actual short film. But yeah. Well, okay. That is all I have. So unless you guys have any other questions, the three of you that are watching right now, I think that's going to be it for our Q&A. I do want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's watching right now, and to anybody who's actually seen one or multiple of the Moment of Sanity videos that we've done. Thank you all very much. I know it makes me feel good when people like and comment on the videos, and I hope I've brought some entertainment to you guys. So thank you all very much. You will see me again. I'm going to be doing some more Moment of Sanity videos. I want to try and do one every weekend, but we'll see how that goes. But for now, everybody just be safe and be healthy. And thank you for watching.